everybody, welcome back to Hearing Things with Julie and Brad. Today we are recapping our month-long adventure in February of watching movies centered around deaf and hard of hearing characters. 3 were films, feature films, and 1 documentary.
Yep.
Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Yep. So we're just going to kind of dive in, and Brad will tell you a little bit about what we did, and then we'll kind of do a little recap.
So we're always looking for representations in media, and so we wanted to get a sense of where that representation had been in the past. And so we had 4 movies that we reviewed in the month of February. So the first one was Defula, then Children of the Lesser God, and then Coda, and then a documentary called We Hear You. And so the first one was actually, you came across it.
I found that on Instagram. A fellow collaborator, colleague of ours, had posted a reference to it, and I'd never heard of it before. And I said, oh, what's that? Let's see. So, me being curious, down the rabbit hole I went, and here we are.
So Defula was all on ASL. It was created, filmed, starred deaf actors. And it was something else. So it was very different because there was no speech, but there was sound, which was kind of weird.
Right, and the place where they let you know that the ASL was going to be captioned for non-native ASL speakers in the audience wasn't captioned. Right.
So it was for hearing and capital D deaf, not us.
Not us. So we were kind of a little bewildered by the entire thing. It was different.
It was like an art film in the 70s, which exactly when it happened.
With really white pants.
Yeah. Oh my God, that dude's pants did not get dirty.
Whiter than white.
Forget being a vampire. The fact that dude's pants did not get dirty.
He was like in canyons and trotting around and everything out in the woods and drinking blood, and his pants were pristine.
Pristine, yes. So it was.
That's about the highlight of the film, right? Like that's about as much as we can say.
I liked it because it kind of it showed a different kind of way of thinking, right? Because we wouldn't think to make these choices. So it wasn't a great movie, but it was also 50 years old by the time we watched it. So it's definitely dated for many different reasons. But so we've blogged about all of these, so I'll post a link to the blog so you can read more. We just wanted to highlight briefly and then talk generally about representation. So the first one we watched was Defula. The second one we kind of watched was Children of the Lesser God. And so I didn't have hearing aids growing up. I didn't talk about my hearing loss growing up. And this movie came out in 1986, and even I heard about it. So I knew about Marlee Matlin, the deaf actress who won the Academy Award for Best Actress.
Well deserved, by the way.
100%.
I'll give her that. Well deserved.
So I had a lot of issues with it, but I got through it. Julie did not, and I'm not throwing shade here. She brings a different story to it.
23
minutes.
I made it 23 minutes. I was through the ceiling, and not in a good way. No. I could not stand anything that was being portrayed on that screen.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it. Like I just felt like such a savior-based, we're going to fix your disability because your disability is bad and clearly there's something wrong with you and you need to be cured and changed, and
it was problematic.
I called it up to 23 minutes.
Yeah.
It was so uncomfortable, awkward, anger-inducing, stereotyped. I hated it.
It wasn't...
How was the rest of it? I gave up after 23 minutes. I was so aggravated.
It was okay. There was issues here and there. I looked at it more as like a research almost. The movie was
interesting.
So I looked at more research, and I don't have the history about with hearing loss that you do, because you've been dealing with it and advocating for yourself for decades, and I've only got it like 5 years under my belt, and so I came to my advocacy reading and watching movies, and so it wasn't really personal at first when I started kind of listening to it, and so this was more of that. But I had some of the same visceral reactions you did, and it's dated, and it's controversial in the deaf community, as well it should be, and so I appreciated it for what it did for Marlee Matlin, but as far as the benefits, I don't think there were many. And I think that's proved by the fact that our next movie that we'll talk about, Coda, happened 30 years later. And so Coda fantastic movie.
Phenomenal.
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 And I appreciated the fact that the two actors, Marlee Matlin is there again, which we kind of had problems with. What did you say? Like, oh,
what, we roll her out of the closet again? We needed a deaf actress. Oh, there she is. Let's roll her out.
Yep. But,
take her out for public display and then put her back in the closet for another 30 years until we need her again.
Yeah. But in this one, she was not the only deaf actor. So Tony and the son, whoever played the son, I can't remember his name. I apologize. They were both deaf, and so it was really good because it highlighted the difference between the deaf and hearing communities. And CODA stands for Children of Deaf Adults, and so there's the two, Marlee and Tony have two kids. One's deaf and one isn't. And it really shows how hard it is to be deaf in the general, but also the challenge, the unique challenges someone would have being a child, the responsibility that is foisted on this girl, essentially, was heartbreaking. But the way they did it was fantastic. They really did a great job.
I mean, the whole cinematic art of it, too. We get into this in our blogs, but the biggest difference, well, there's a lot of differences, but one primary observable difference between Lesser God and CODA was that in Children of a Lesser God, whenever someone was signing, William Hurt's character and his fabulous hair, which is the only great thing about that movie, was translating for the hearing audience, saying out loud what Marlee Matlin was signing, or any other deaf character that was using ASL. In CODA, there were captions that was captioning the signs. The hearing characters, whoever else was interacting with people signing on the screen, were not speaking the words that they were signing. So that showed a real level of respect and evolution for me in terms of ASL being treated as a language, not a hand-signed system.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very striking. CODA had some beautiful cinematic moments, too, when they would kind of drop the sound off.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of give you the perspective of the deaf characters, of what they were experiencing in a hearing world situation. Was pretty cool. The characters were very well developed. Really kind of got behind them, at least I did. And
I did.
Tony, what's the actor's name? Troy
Couture?
Tony Kurtzer?
We'll post the links so people know.
The guy
who was
the main character that played the father in the movie, Marlee Matlin's husband, was just...
Yeah, it was
the man was fire. He won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in a Lead Role, Best Supporting Actor in a Lead Role, excuse me. And his win was overshadowed by Will Smith's
Temper Tantrum?
Temper Tantrum, unnecessary active violence fueled by superior ego, which pushed that major milestone for the deaf and hard of hearing community right out of the headlines.
Yep.
Once again, pushed to the side. I wrote about it. I don't need to rant about it here, but it was really, it bothered me at the time, and I hadn't even seen the film yet. And now, having seen the film, it really makes me mad because that was such an important moment in film history and deaf and hard of hearing community history, and the recognition for this man's accomplishment as an actor. I mean, the last 10 minutes alone is the reason why he should have won the award. It was, oh my gosh.
Tears. Oh, it was beautiful.
No shock that I was crying. Thrilled that this one actually showed some emotion. It was very, very moving.
I had forgotten that was the same Academy Awards until you almost bit someone's head off when you realized it.
I did. I went.
It was I'm sad that it happened, but I'm not surprised, which is unfortunate. So that was the third movie, and the last movie, the documentary we watched was We Hear You, and so this was put on by. This was great. So this was by and about and for deaf and hard of hearing people, and so Sherry Eberts, who we have mentioned many times on this show, was the co-producer of it. And our executive producer, she had some production hand in it, and so it was just three people, right? So it was Sherry, Tony Iucci, and Roxanne, whose last name escapes me, is telling their story about losing their hearing and hearing loss, and talks about the challenges that we face as hearing impaired people. It was really well done. It was very brave too, because I think that there's still so much stigma involved with hearing loss. That what they did, put themselves up there, and so the video is freely available on YouTube, which is an intentional choice they made, which I love. I love the fact that they're making it open access, and so anybody can watch it, and they bring up some great topics. Really well done. I felt seen at times. I'm sure you did too. But there were also not issues, but this is what kind of precipitated this episode is Julie and I both have our hearing loss from childhood. And this was about three women who had hearing loss later in life. And I think Sherry lost her hearing at like 20 or something. So it wasn't like she just lost her hearing. So there is a range of hearing loss. But there were some times where I didn't feel seen.
I haven't felt seen in any of these four things that we've watched.
Yeah.
And this does not diminish the achievement or accomplishment or reputation of anything that we viewed. It doesn't impact my review of the films and documentary that we watched. But it does reinforce once again that for me personally, as someone with hearing loss, hearing impaired, from childhood, hearing aid since the age of 4, I speak, I don't use ASL. I've solely been immersed in the hearing artist world my whole life. Where am I?
Yeah.
Where am I?
You're right.
Where is my story?
Yeah.
Besides here on Hearing Things with Julie and Brad, or in my blogs, or through DTT Productions, social media content and presentations. I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm not finding myself, and that is a huge problem for me. Because these films, the central storyline is around the disability.
Right.
Why are we not seeing more instances in media, in books, film, television shows, you name it, where a character just happens to have hearing aids and have it not be the central storyline? Or if it is the central storyline, why aren't we seeing something where it's just about someone like myself, like you, who've had hearing loss since childhood and are just going about their lives without this being, the most interesting thing about ourselves?
It's frustrating.
It's beyond frustrating. And we always talk about how there's more than one way to be deaf or hard of hearing, but that's not being shown.
Right.
It's a constant, perpetuated stereotype that we are all experiencing hearing loss the same way. And unfortunately, that continues to be pervasive all of these years later. So that was a disappointment for me, watching the evolution of these 4 films, because we watched them in chronological order over time.
That's right.
And the evolution was minimal.
Yeah, I think some of it is money, right? So like you're not gonna, especially now with everything so freely available online, publishing company like book publishers, movie studios, they're not gonna go out of their way. Which is why I appreciated the Hear You, We Hear You, right? Because it was published by themselves and they make it freely available to get it out there to prove to the bigger companies that you can make money off of this. And so I know that's a challenge, but also hopeful too, because like our show is a way to start that journey. So like we need to keep going. We spread the word about our show, please, because it is the missing almost where the invisible part of a spectrum that is already invisible itself. And so the hard of hearing people, we don't know ASL. We've had hearing loss from childhood. We're not late deafened. It's isolating at times, and so I love being able to do this show. So thank you, because it starts. This is the start, and I'm with Julie. I want to see myself more. I don't see myself in a lot of these shows because of it's not even a unique situation. I know there are plenty of people with hearing loss at a younger age. I mean, I had hearing loss at 5, but I didn't admit it. I didn't do anything about it for almost 20 years. And so like I know there are still people around now not doing anything about it because of this stigma. And I think the stigma also has a lot to do with the fact that we don't see each other in media because, okay, we'll be thrown a bone by being the special friend or a teaching moment, right? Like this is all about our hearing loss. And so there's a few books, and we've mentioned in the past, like Jacqueline Woodson's Feathers, where the brother it just happens to be deaf. Fantastic example of what we want to see more of in movies, more. Because I'm noticing it more. I'm noticing more books about deaf and hard of hearing people than I am movies. And I get it. Movies take a lot longer to produce. In
there's no excuse. There's no excuse. I'm done with the excuses. Okay. I'm done.
Yeah, it's valid. Yeah,
I've had it. I'm done.
So maybe we're missing it. So like if we don't know of movies or TV shows or books that have hard of hearing characters, that it's just one part of that character, please let us know. If you know somebody in the publishing world or in Hollywood, send them their way, because this is stuff that we know through our work personally, through our work with HLAA. We know that there are people like us out there are too afraid to talk like we're talking, and I think that we can help people talk about it, and the more people talk about it, the more money these companies are going to make. Right? And somebody wanted to say hi.
It's just
Even Happy is upset. Even Happy is upset.
Yeah. Well, it's a layered issue for me, but I got to tell you, I'm really pretty sick of it.
Sure.
I'm sick of it being the invisible demographic of an already invisible disability. And I don't know. Maybe I'm the anomaly, right? Maybe everybody else is seeing themselves represented. Maybe I'm the odd man out, because I've had lost since a child. I had hearing aids early. I have never once backed down in the face of self-advocacy. I don't see my hearing loss as a stigma to be hidden away or be ashamed of. Maybe I'm the anomaly. Maybe the movie should be made about me.
There we go. So anyone needs a movie? Here we go. Julie will play herself too.
100%.
But I think that hearing loss, is more prevalent than anyone realizes, including us. And so I think that it's a missed opportunity for all the kinds of media. But I don't see myself very much either, right? Mm-hmm. It's like I've had hearing loss my whole life, and I really have only just started to talk about it and do something about it and chip away at that stigma, because that stigma is huge. And I think a big part of it is the intelligence factor, right? Is like when you don't hear something, there's a good chance that somebody thinks you're stupid. Mm-hmm. And that's just a fact. That's not something that we're trying to overblow. I think that that's something that really is at the heart of the stigma, where like, oh no, if you admit your hearing loss, then you're trying to just defend the fact that you're stupid. That's hard, and that's tough. But I'm encouraged because of the work I've seen being done in the community, and the fact that probably a lot of people watching this aren't seeing that leads me to believe that there's a lot of more work to be done.
It's not enough.
There's a lot more work.
It's not enough. I'm tired of this community accepting breadcrumbs as a form of advancement and exposure.
I'm getting there.
I've had it.
I'm getting there. But you've been dealing with decades longer than I have. So.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have. But it's enough.
Yeah. So there we go. Spread the word. Spread the word that you want to see. You know what you can do, actually, is you can talk to your librarian. And the more books that are out there, because I purchased the books that are deaf and hard of hearing related for my library, because no one else knows about them. And so that's one thing you can do right now, is just go to your library and come up with a list of books. You can grab them from our list of books that you want to see in the library. See what kind of programming you can get. Have us come talk to your companies. You know, that's one thing that we do want to branch out. We want to get out there into the real world and talk to people face to face. Because thank you for watching this, because I think that this is invaluable to have this platform. But we're looking to expand into the real world, which we probably can't bring happy, which does not make me happy. But spread the word. Start making some noise.
I can't continue to sit here behind a camera and deliver these messages.
Yeah.
It's time to take it to the next level, which is get in front of the people who need to hear these messages and hear our stories and make those connections. So, hello@dttproductions.com. Shoot us an email. We're ready. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Up. There we go.
Let's do this.
All right. Anything else to say? Anything else you want to get off your
chest? I have lots more to say, but I'll save it for another episode. I can go on for an hour about this. But yeah, I'm done. You know what would be a great feature film, though? I think
What's
this
that?
would be remarkable.
What's that?
Probably inappropriate. Should make it great.
Yeah.
Me playing myself.
Okay.
Me also playing Helen Keller.
Oh.
And us having a dialogue. Like time flashback.
You want a one-woman show. You talk about
I want a one-woman show so I can decimate Helen. Because I think she's a fraud, and I have issues with her, and I'm tired of her being held up as a paradigm. That's a whole other show. You can watch that old show. My God, that would make money at the box office. Anyway.
It's controversial. Controversy makes money.
The rant is coming, people.
That's two Julie rants.
Coming.
Two Julie rants in one episode. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to shift gears to basically what we're talking about. Books.
Okay.
What do you got?
Fantastic book. It's called The Frozen River by Ariel Lahwon, Lawhon. And I need to do some research further because it takes place in Maine in the 1780s, so not long after the Revolution.
Okay.
And in a small town called Hollowell, Maine, which I think is a real place, on the Kennebec River, which I know is a real place. And it was a primarily logging community, which most things in Maine, all the rivers were at that time, and still are today. And it's a woman who's a midwife, and there's a murder that happens, and she was called in to be the medical investigator. And kind of how this is evolving and how it ties in with her family and other people in the town. And it's really a quite good addressing of social layers, social issues at the time, and classism. And what I really like about the way this author wrote the main character is that she's a woman of her time, and she writes her in such a way where she has that empowerment and education and ability, but it fits in with the time period. It's not just like magical, strong feminist of 1785. It's believable. You know, so for example, women were expected to not be literate. Right. But this woman was literate and is hiding it as the story goes through. So it's quite good.
Sounds good.
I highly recommend it. I'm about halfway through and was hoping to finish it today, but I've gotten sidetracked with my yarn and crochet needles.
Oh, right. You should see those.
Taking over
She's got a pretty good hobby now.
Oh, my God. We're getting better. So, yeah, I'm going to crochet you.
Me?
Yeah, so I can
life
pop
size?
you up next to me.
So
yeah,
there we go.
life
So
size.
I can be replaced by...
You don't talk anyway. It wouldn't even matter. I'll just take a yarn, Brad, and take you with me on presentations. Take you on the road. What do you think of that? You know? So that's my book. It's
chew.
I wanted you some more research and see, is this a real place in Maine? How far is it away from me in the summer?
Oh, field trip.
Go on a road trip?
Field trip.
Right?
Nice.
Yeah. What do you got?
All right, so I have Not a Sound by Heather Gudenkauf. And so this was interesting because it does feature a hard of hearing person. And so the main character...
Hard of hearing or deaf? Hearing aids or
hearing
deaf?
Aids. I was getting there. All right. Want to get down, girl?
Okay.
All right. Sorry, so yeah, she is a nurse, and she has an accident, and she loses her hearing in the accident. Yeah. So I loved parts of it. I didn't like other parts of it because I liked...
Once again.
Yep, exactly. And that's
situational hearing loss.
And this is, so it's permanent. So it's not like, so she does lose her hearing aids, and she loses her hearing, and she has hearing aids. And again, somebody dies, and so she has to help investigate the murder with her hearing dog. So I appreciated seeing that.
You like it because there's the dog.
And there's a dog. And the dog lives. The dog lives.
The dog lives.
But like some of the scenes I felt seen because they do go into the challenges of like not being able to wear your hearing aids out in the rain, or like there's certain not being able to hear people in the dark, right? So you can't kind of see things. So it does cover topics that are familiar to me, but the losing the hearing later, some of the choices, the hearing loss is a plot device, and I didn't love. But I wanted to mention it because you're not going to be perfect off the hop. I think that books are going to have problems when they start talking about a disability. And so this shows the good and the bad about what is available to publishers now.
Is the author deaf or hard of hearing?
No, that's another problem. Yeah, that was another problem. So, but I believe I think she said she immersed herself in the deaf community, which I don't see myself as. Right. So it's a caveat. I did like it.
No, I'm sorry. She immersed herself in the deaf community, the culturally deaf, even though she's writing about a character who lost hearing and has hearing aids in the book?
I believe...
Still have some residual hearing? Is it clear if the character identifies as lowercase d or uppercase d deaf? This is the whole concept.
Lowercase d. So there's more of the problem.
You can't immerse yourself in the culturally uppercase d deaf community. And oh my God.
Third rant. So this is the problem, right? So
unscripted. This is unscripted. This is right here. I did not know about this book until you started talking. Continue.
These are the types of problems. So I want to highlight it because I want to give it credit, but not give it excuses. And
here comes breadcrumbs.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. I enjoyed it. The story was good, but I did have problems with certain things. So I'm recommending it because it's kind of an example of what we're talking about. This is the best we can get right now, and there's a problem.
The best we've gotten, and it's still not enough. Right. It is still garbage.
I mean, it's not garbage. I enjoyed the book, but
the representation is garbage. It's the same recycled nonsense, decade after decade after decade.
Okay. So I think I'm going to end it right here before Julie starts, like, I don't know, punching me or something because she has no other outlet for her anger. Any last words?
You know, like Beverly Cleary says, if you don't see the book on the shelf, write it.
Yeah, so there you go. So we got things in the works. So
We do.
yeah.
Man.
All right, everybody.
Oh,
I'm gonna go. We're gonna
all
go.
right.
We're gonna go. Spread the word, please, because I think this is an important topic. And the more people that talk about this kind of stuff, the less angry Julie will be. So don't.
You know what I need right now?
What do you need?
I need a beer. Do people want to buy us a beer? You can buy us a beer, like legit for real,
That's
on
true.
our Patreon account.
Yep.
So we'll put the information in the description, and it is bit.ly.
.ly DTT Productions. Again, it'll be in the link in the description, so
Buy
you
us beer.
can get her a beer.
$10 a month.
Right.
Buy us a beer once, buy us a beer 10 times. I don't care. Go to our little thing, donate $10. It's going to help our mission. It'll help us with travel costs, material costs for presentations, technology purchases, all that good stuff. If you believe in our mission, if you believe in what we said today, put your money where your mouth is.
Challenge.
It's a challenge.
Challenge is thrown down.
$10. You can support DTT Productions less than 30 cents a day. Look at this face. Give us your money. Anyway, go make a donation. Thanks for listening, and hopefully we gave you some things to think about and talk about and investigate. So.